Hey guys, welcome to another Ride in the Struggle Bus where every wheel is an empty triangle. Today I have a really fun video for you guys. I'm going to be playing a game against that guy, and the video is going to show my thoughts while I'm playing with some of his thoughts about the game added in throughout the course of the game. For those of you unfamiliar, that's Triton Baduk, and he does very similar things to me, just at a slightly higher level. I'm a big fan of his stuff, and I'm sure many of you guys are as well. If you don't know who he is, definitely check his stuff out. He reached out to me asking if I wanted to collaborate, and I'm not going to lie, I was pretty excited. I don't know if I'll be able to make a series out of this, but if I do, I'm going to be calling it Riding with Friends. I really hope to get to make more videos like this. It was a fun one, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. As for always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching the videos. I'd like to thank my patrons for their love and support of the channel, and finally a huge thanks to Triton for reaching out to do this. And with that intro out of the way, let's go get our asses kicked. Okay, so we have started and we are black this game. So I'm going to be doing my typical mini Chinese if he lets me do it. So we'll start with a 4-4. Assuming he plays in this corner, we'll do a 3-4. Oh, he played over there, but we'll still do a 3-4. We're not going to do a cross game. We'll play here. We'll approach whatever stone he plays over there, most likely. And so he's got 3-4s facing. I'm just going to play the approach down here. I'm going to play high. My general stance on fuseki is as long as you don't blunder a corner, as long as you're making moves that make sense, it doesn't matter too much. The middle game is what is going to make or break all of our games. So you'll notice I'm going to play pretty quickly through fuseki, most likely just following known variations and joseki and whatnot.
And now it's probably best for him to approach the upper left corner, but he is not going to do so. This just makes it a little bit easier for me to take two solid corners in the opening.
So now he's got sensei. Let's see what he does. You'll notice we're going to be following rules for a while, right? We've gone for our corners, and then we'll be going for the sides, and then, of course, lastly, we'll be going for the center. This game will be a little different than my others, though, just because of who I am playing, obviously. So he's extending here. We could look at attaching right now. AI likes this move. We could also look at just growing one of our corners.
I think like the most modern way to play is definitely to attach at a d16, but anything along the top is often good, though he does have potential for a 3-4 enclosure in the bottom right. For the opening, it doesn't really matter.
In this case, what am I going to do? Let's attach here. This seems fine. He'll most likely Hane under, at which point we will Hane on the outside. We'll see how easy or hard he wants to make it for me. And his next move will be pretty telling between if he plays the more difficult variation of E16 or the simpler of the two with C16.
I'm just going to play the simpler way.
And he plays the simpler of the two. So we're just going to take the outside Hane and connect. And we will... Are we supposed to throw in here? I always get confused with this, but I'm just going to take this. It's very possible that I should have jumped instead of taking this. I think that's probably more proper. Looking back at this now, I think I played that just a little too quickly. I mentioned as long as you don't blunder, the moves, you can play through the moves pretty quickly, but this was a little too quick. I should have jumped out to make a base. And so he's most likely just going to be looking at taking that base from me, chasing this group. Fortunately, I do have Q16 on the other side, so we do have some support, even though it's pretty far away.
The purpose of going down and doing this cut here is to try to get this E18 move in Sente. That's sort of the purpose of the cut for this in this Joseki. In this case, I can still kill the stone, so it's better for me to come over the top here, because the other purpose is for him to push over the top or to press me down in some way. So I need to break into the center now. This is very important.
And so he's playing out here, and I'm curious the intent of this move. I'm not quite sure I know the intent of this move. It's likely looking to get strength, right? He's obviously looking to surround this group and probably also looking at this as a target. That is my guess here. We are most assuredly going to jump uh, to make sure that this group doesn't get fully surrounded. We need to have a base to make sure that we can't have two targets at the same time. Though I suspect he's going to be doing something on this group, perhaps approaching from this side and then looking to approach here. He might approach this right now and then look at then pressuring this stone. And hey, look at that! So it's possible he's looking to get some exchanges here to get a little bit of strength to eventually go after this group. For here, we're just going to keep it nice and chill for now. We're just going to play the diagonal. He'll most likely jump back high, or he'll Tanuki here. But I suspect he's going to play something like M4 or L4. And then we will look at either doing something with this corner or doing something with this group, with this being the weakest group on the board. So he did choose to Tanuki. So the question here is, are we going to pincer? Are we going to kick? Or are we going to back off?
I think pincer here is the simplest way to play because I definitely can't jump out.
I think any of those are fine. These two stones are set up reasonably well to try to get something on the right side. So we'll have some potential here if we back off. We've already got potential here if we pincer. So the question is, if we back off, are we okay with him getting a move like this? And I think that's fine. I feel like this is a little over concentrated if we do this.
I think pincer here is the simplest way to play.
So yeah, so let's just back off and then see if he attaches or if he just slides or if he makes a base immediately. Or maybe he'll Tanuki again. Maybe it'll be that kind of game. Either way, you will notice that we are still focusing heavily on the corners and the sides right now, right? And we're both balancing our third and fourth line stones, except for this guy, right? But this one, this one had the purpose of putting pressure on this. So I like this move. So he is doing this to pressure this group, and so maybe the pincer was the more correct thing to do here.
I think pincer here is the simplest way to play.
And so I'm trying to figure out what to do. I don't want to kick this because then we're just wickedly over concentrated here, and if we get surrounded, that's just sad times. So we could look at jumping out. We could look at something like H14 just to try to get ahead of this. Let's see. And if he plays there, and then that, do we care about that cut? I don't think so. I think that cut is fine. So I think we're probably going to jump out just to make sure we don't get surrounded here. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so now he's going into the corner, and I wonder if that's worth answering to right now, because we've got Miai between R17 and R11. And he's got this kind of lonely stone over here. If he gets a stone like K4, this potentially becomes an area we start caring about. So maybe we can look at pincering this and going here. But he does also have just a lot of third line stones, so it's like we get very little here. So I do feel like I feel like the either the top or the left is where we want to be placing our next stone. So how do we want to deal? We can look at jumping out. We can look at jumping in here right now, but he'll be able to grab the corner, and so then we would have to prove that this is a good attack against that stone. And I'm not sure we can realistically get a good attack on that stone with this group right here. I think we need to get a little more strength. So I think I want to go down here.
One strategy that black probably wants to employ is trying to get a little bit of a Moyo. He has a lot of high stones. He's going to pincer here now. But he has a lot of high stones, and so doing something right away would make a lot of sense.
I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to play here, and we'll see what we can get from attacking the stone. Okay, so he is simply going to attach. So we can obviously look at the Hane.
In this case, probably just Hane and Tiger's Mouth. He makes a base here, and I jump out towards the center. Again, I said the center is important right now.
We can look at the extend and cut, but I don't know if that puts us in a good position. If we go here and cut, and then he gets the Hane, we can Atari and then push, and we might be okay. But he might also be willing to sacrifice that stone if it means getting this side. So I wonder if the Hane is proper here. And I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to play on this side to keep, to push in towards our strength, right? We can consider these two stones strength for now. So I think we just look at connecting here, right? We still need to protect our cuts. I don't think we want to leave a hanging connection. I think we just want to connect directly, and if he hanes, we'll be able to hane. And I think this will be a reasonable exchange. So we will connect here.
And he should just play the Tiger's Mouth. In this case, connecting solidly means that he doesn't want me to get the clamp at N2, making my grip a little bit weaker. So I understand that. This allows me to hane over the top, and him to be in a little bit worse shape.
I suspect he will jump out. He may slide into R2, but I don't think so. I think he's going to be more interested in getting out ahead. Okay, so he does look to get out. These two stones are still fine. We can always play Q3 or R8 as Miai to get a base there. So we'll need to look at these three stones, and I think we can just make a base, and that'll be fine. We can look at continuing to chase these stones, but I'm not sure what that actually gets us. If we get a good settled base here, this group will be nice and strong, and so then it'll be tougher for him to pressure this. Or do we actually want to leave these here and take our extension here, or play this to continue here? And actually, that's what I'm going to do. I don't think it's worth it to take a base right now. I think we want to come out and keep pressure on this group, and see if we can attack this. And anytime we go for an attack, we want to identify where our profit is. In this case, I'm going to be looking to see if we can get the right side. We're obviously going to protect our cut here, and then he's going to peep. So we don't want to just connect. We want to make sure that we answer this peep in a good way. But it might just be connecting, right? Because if we leave this hanging connection and he plays here, well, actually, then we can hane. So maybe the Tiger's Mouth is the way to do this, because if he goes there, then we can hane, and his two stones will die. So instead of just connecting directly, we want to make sure that we get a good shape, a move that does more than just connecting. And so this will put a little bit of pressure on K3, and now I think we can continue to harass this group. And this group, I think, is fine right now because we've got some friends over here, which are strong enough. And so I think we want to look at pressing from this side. So the question is, though, do we want to take the corner first before we do this? And I think we do, because it'd be kind of silly if we push here and just have him live easily in the corner, as where if we play here, we threaten to connect underneath, and then we can also get this side. So I'm going to take this kick right now, secure the corner first, and then see if we can build the right side. So we will take this hane, so our corner is fully secured. He is not going to play P2 right now. He's not going to save that stone. That is not the intent of this exchange. I wish I could say what the intent of this exchange was, but I know he will not be saving that stone. So the question now is, do we think we can get a move over here to get some cash on the right side, or is this group not strong enough? Right? If he plays a move like K8, are we in too much trouble? Are we too weak um, to be able to endure something like that? So I do think I'm going to jump out, and I believe we can get away with a two-space jump because of K4. I'm gonna do a little bit of reading, but I think we are fine if we play this. Yeah, it looks okay. So now we can see, he's running. He's eventually going to get some strength on us. These two stones might not be too happy. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do something on the right side. I want to make this group a little stronger. This feels a little too timid. I'm unsure. I'm unsure what to do about that for right now. I wanted to build up this side.
He still should connect on the left side. He does have two weak groups technically, so he just needs to be a little bit careful.
If I play here, he's likely going to jump in, but he's got some stuff over here that he needs to care about. So I am just going to play here, see if we can get a large territory here or something up here. And again, if he jumps in, we've got some peeps that we can use to get strength to attack that stone. Okay, so he is looking to surround this group. So I think it's probably time to go and get our corner. And so that's what we're going to do.
Uh, Taking the corner now, I think, is probably a mistake. He already has the move on the side, so you could say that while this is a points move, it's only a points move.
Okay, so he has to be mindful of this cut, which I'm sure he is. And I don't think we can take it right now. We'll push. If we cut, he'll Atari, and then we're heading right towards his stones. And so, 015 set this up pretty well. So, and now he's also looking to surround this group up here. So we need to be very careful of what we are doing. And maybe it's worth getting some strength over here. And so I'm going to play a move like this because we do want to keep an eye on this cut. And if we're able to get some strength up here, then this cut potentially gets turned on.
Ooh, interesting. That is quite interesting. I could defend. If I defend like this and he extends, then I can Hane and push out. So I think I will attach to him here. That's kind of an interesting move he played. I don't think it's necessarily bad. He is making some more shape for his stones, but he has to be a little bit careful because now I can separate him from the bottom. And if he doesn't play again on the top, when I Hane here, now I am getting some points in the center. Whereas before it was still quite open. Yeah, so now I get to separate this side here.
And so this stone looks to strengthen things up here. He still has M17 as a big reduction point, though he can connect these two stones up if we play there. But it looks like we did elicit a response. So we can look at he attached to our stone. We want to either look at extending or Hane. The Hane I do not think makes any sense in this situation. So if we play here and he Hane's here, that isn't the best. So let's extend back. This is a little timid, but we needed to be mindful of our cuts over here. So he is looking to attack this group, and his profit is going to be increasing his bottom side, which he's already done. This move has already done a fine job of that. But my question now is, with our newfound strength here, if we can get away with this cut. And so again, if we push and then cut, yeah, let's do that. That was the goal of this exchange, was to get some strength here to turn this cut on. And because this group isn't alive yet, and so if we can separate his stones, then we'll be in an okay position. So he played those moves real quick, so he clearly had done some reading here. Let's see. But the ladder is not going to work with this here. But he's able to Atari and then Atari through. Yeah, that's tough, huh? That's tough, but I still think this is the only move I expect to cut here. Yeah. Yep, I think the only move we have is this Atari. And then do we look at this Atari? Or do we look at this? But then we'll lose those 3 stones. So let's play here and figure out what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do about this. So that's what we're gonna do about this. We're going to take this Panuki. I think we have lost this group, but I think if we try to save it, it's going to be pretty painful.
I believe he should just be dead on the bottom.
So let's just take this. He's gonna capture because he needs to, and then we can look at taking this Hane and see if we can at least get those 2 stones, or we can look at this Hane and try to get the large right side there. Um, yeah, I think I'm going to take this Hane and try to build this right side. And so now he's connected, and these 3 stones are not worth saving. They simply aren't. He's already alive. We're alive. This doesn't change the life and death status of anything on this board. We can save, and he might connect to those 2 stones, but I don't think he's going to, and so I don't think it's worth doing anything there. So let's go strengthen this group. So because we are pretty much completely surrounded, so we want to make sure that we're a little stronger over here. So that's fine. We'll just go and recapture this.
I'm going to capture this. This is very, very important for me to capture. And now he still has this weak group in the upper left to deal with. He was able to get some points on the right side. But let's just point out to him that I am now very, very thick in the area.
So he is now looking to obviously take away my base here. I think we can look at... I'm not sure this extension does too much. But I think it has some good follow-up, so I'm going to take a look at it. We can look at attaching it at N17, and then we can jump and try to connect these groups up. This was a really big loss, obviously. Not too pleased with that. But we do have a fairly large right side. And now P2 comes in Sente, actually. So I think we're going to take P2. Yeah, because P2 is a pretty big move now, because it threatens to revitalize my group there. And I wonder if we can get away with this, if this works. If he captures, we're able to Atari here, and if he connects, then he loses that. So then otherwise this turns into a code to revitalize that group, and it might just save that group, because I don't think he will be able to live here. So maybe we did not lose this group after all.
Yes, looks like he can just connect up. Very sad, very sad. But I already got some profit over here.
So he connects there. So we're going to capture, which ends up saving this group. So that's not too bad. That is not too bad. If we play here and he does this, we Atari, he descends. Yep, we're all set. We're all set. So let's see. We play here. He Ataris, and then he Ataris. And I think we're okay. Otherwise, we can descend. Yeah, well, let's just push once, and then we'll Hane if he pushes again. Yeah, I was worried about this. Friends. So let's play here first, and then Let's see. So now he can push, and if we block, he cuts there. So we can bamboo joint. But at that point, is saving this stone even worth it? Because we're going to lose these 4. So I think we need to look at connecting up first before we go and save this 1 stone. Man, he's pretty good at this attacking thing, huh? It's almost like he's stronger than I am. Okay, so we are almost in endgame now, honestly. So we can look at big second line moves now. So we can look at R18. R18 is pretty big. B6 isn't as large. B13 is somewhat large. So let's take this first. Which we were able to get a response for. And so the question now is, can I, if he plays D8, am I just gonna struggle through this? I think we can. I think we are fine. I think we are fine. So let's play this Hane. Get a little more strength over here. This comes with a follow up at A4. So it has some endgame ramifications, and there we go, right? So that's him saying that R18. Well, at least with him having Sente, he's saying that was the largest move for him.
Okay. If it's just end game, then I get this push first. This was bigger than the Hane.
Perhaps this was larger than playing this. We will block here and let him retain his Sente. It is his right. It is his birthright to have Sente. We are absolutely going to answer that one. Otherwise, we end up losing some stones over here. So we will connect. This I'm not going to respond to. I think we can find some bigger moves here. I think A4 is larger if we're looking at endgame. Perhaps even let's just play here. I'm not so sure how large this move is, but we played it. So let's see now. So we can block. Maybe blocking here. I think this is a pretty large move. I do wonder if we need to just fully connect here though before playing a move like this, because there's this cut. So maybe we should connect up first. I really wanted this move, but this cut is a little concerning. So yeah, so it's not surprising that he's going to play that. We will block. Try to maintain the points that we do have here. Okay, so now he's gonna do his trickery.
Then decide if we can do anything here with this attachment. If I attach, he Hane's over. I block, he Ataris, I go down. He has to connect. I have this turn here, and then it's a little bit difficult. I might be able to do something. So let's look at it a little bit.
10、9、8、7、6、5、4、3。
Let's see if there's any sort of aji here.
And not so sure how I feel about this, if I'm being perfectly honest. But we can't play here. We have to Hane on top. Though if this stone ends up living, then we are in a world of hurt here. And we have to connect here. There is a lot of room in here. There is a lot of room. It's funny because I did consider taking this turn. If we go back a few moves, I was considering taking this, but obviously didn't have timing for it. Okay, so he's gonna peep. Let's see. So if we do this, does that cut that stone off? I think so. I think that peep is a trick, and so I think we're going to play here. We'll see if I if I messed something up. So he's got this Atari into this Atari into the this guy. He's nothing but trouble. So now we've got this nasty Ko. I'll use a Bayomi on this because yeah, if we connect, he's got this Atari and then he'll Atari again, and then he'll have this Atari and we connect and then we're dead. So we can play this connection or this connection, and then this turns into a pretty big Ko. That's what that looks like. It looks like a pretty big Ko. But we've got Ko threats. We do have Ko threats. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go for it.
So this is why you test the moves first, because now I have Atari, Atari, Atari. So he has to play a Ko. And if it's a Ko, then now I have this area as Ko threats. Oh, okay. So I just capture. That was a good move, by the way. Him connecting there was a very good move.
Okay. I'm sure he's got plenty of pretty nasty Ko threats as well, including some local ones like these two. Yep, that is most assuredly a Ko threat. But you want to know what? I'm okay with this one because at least if we lose the Ko now, we get this. So that seems reasonable. So let's play here now. So this is a good Ko factory over there, or factory of Ko threats rather. So yeah, I'm not sure how I felt about this. I think M13 and L12, or M13 and L13 were better Ko threats. So I guess he does get these as well. So let's see. Yeah, we will do this. This is fine. And then we can do this, because if he lets us capture that, then these 4 stones die. So we've got a lot of threats over here. Yep, that is in fact a Ko threat as well. But then so is this. So we've got a bunch of Ko threats here as well. Yeah, so this is good. This corner just turned into a lot of Ko threats for us. You know, it sucks that we lost those 4 stones early in the game, but at least they do something. And so now he's going to play. Oh, he's just going to do that. And so we're not going to capture. We are just going to connect. That is what we are going to do. Okay, and so now we can do this. Does this give us one more? We play here. I think this gives us one more. So if we play here and he does this, he'll just capture. But if we play here, yeah, I think this works, because then he has to play A15 as an approach, or B19. Yep. Okay, so now we will capture the Ko one more time. Yes. Well, I guess there was no avoiding. That. There we go. Okay, and so now we can do this. Or I suppose, is this better? Because if we play here, no, this is fine. This is fine, and then we will get yet another Ko threat there. So this is fun. I hope you guys like this. I love Ko fights, but then he's also going to have 1,000 threats there. Yep, he's got this. And you want to know what, guys? I don't know how many more we've got here. Okay, so we're going to take this one more time, but I think after this we are going to play P15. I think this is becoming too big now, and it's going to be tough to actually find a Ko threat that is larger than saving this. Yep. So do we just block here? I think we can just block here, and so that's what I'm going to do. He's going to take that, and we're just going to take this. I think I'm going to struggle to find a Ko threat that's bigger than, because again, if he if he takes P15 from us, then this code just becomes huge, huge, huge. So we're going to take this, and we will say, yes, you win the co. And that is sad. That is sad times for the entire bus family, I understand.
Very sad, very sad.
But we did what we could. We did what we could, guys. So if we take this now, and he Ataris up here, then this comes in Sente. So that means that this move itself is Sente, right? Because he needs to fix this cut now. That one has been lingering for a while. We will go do this. And then I'm going to see if I... Oh, it's just a net. It's just a net, Gabe. It's just a net. He's going to play right there. It's goes hard, guys. Goes hard. And I think this is probably a good place to stop this one with just a horrifically silly misread there. This is where we are going to stop this one. So taking a look at this, it's worth pointing out, apparently I missed a pretty big move here. Apparently this connection was important, and this has black winning by a whole 13.5 points. There's no way my opponent would have been able to claw back from a 13-point deficit for sure. But interesting that there was the game was actually pretty much dead even through here. So this is move 64. So you want to know what? I will take that. I'm sure that he was taking it a little easy on us, but still I'm pretty happy with my performance. Obviously through the first bit, and then after that it all goes downhill as the stronger player takes over. But that is to be expected. So for now, I'm actually not going to do a review of this game because a game of this type is typically one that I would need help to review, right? I'm playing against a stronger player here, so I am unlikely to find anything going through myself without either a stronger player or AI showing me the way. So that is where we will leave this one for today. So anyway, thanks for coming out for another ride in the struggle bus, where every wheel's an empty triangle. Have a good one, guys.